Good evening. My name is Paul Egner, and tonight I am going to be giving you a tour of my Diigo portfolio that I have been putting together this week. On my library page, I have my tags over here on the left-hand side that I've spent time checking out some different websites and putting tags to them. I'm going to go down and hit this All Tags tab here because I have a few more listed than what are showing on the left-hand side. So the different tags that I put together this week include brain break activities, communication tools, gaming and education, restorative practices, coding and education, community building, icebreaker activities, professional development, video, collaborative learning, conferencing, interactive web apps, and project-based learning. A few of my favorites some of them I have practiced using. A lot of the websites that I have posted here are new ones, but a couple of my favorites, I will start here under interactive web apps. And I'm going to go down to the bottom. There are two down at the bottom that are very similar. Padlet is one that I began using when I started teaching. Someone told me about it. And I really like Padlet. With this app, you can ask a question and students can put their ideas or their answers, or they can collaborate together and they can either put their names or keep it anonymous. And I would go back and forth. Sometimes I like having the students put their names on it. So, the rest of the class knows who was saying what. But sometimes it can be very helpful in keeping things anonymous too. When we take a full class poll, and I think sometimes students are able to open up, or they're more willing to open up when they keep it anonymous. Padlet I really like, but I found out that you have to pay for that. So I started using Google Jamboard, which is very similar to Padlet, but it's more of a whiteboard, and students can collaborate by putting their answers all together on a whiteboard, and we can see their answers and what they have to contribute. So again, it's just something that students can type on and type their answers, and I think a lot of times students are more willing to share that way. So those are two that I really like. I'm going to go back to my library, and I'm going to go into my all tabs. And this time I'm going to go into my video tags. A few of the video tags that I use a lot. One is YouTube. YouTube, I think most of us are familiar with that. I do a lot of hands-on cooking and a lot of hands-on work in my classes. I like to use YouTube to bring up an example of a practice or an example of a kitchen lab that we might be getting ready to do. And then I'll take the students into the kitchen, and then I do a physical demo for them so they're able to see it in two different ways before they actually have to do it themselves. During COVID, I actually started my own YouTube channel, and I would upload videos that I would take of myself cooking and different techniques, and I was able to assign them videos to watch, and that was very helpful too when we weren't all together to be hands-on. Another one that I have here at the top is the one that I'm using right now, ScreenPal. This was new to me this week in our class, and just playing around with it before I started to make this video that I'm doing right now. It's very easy to use, and I can definitely see myself using this in my classroom, and I think that this will be a great tool to have in the future. Another app that I use a lot in school right now is something that my district and my school is starting to push. Let me go back into my library here, and I'm going to go into collaborative learning. Another app or a program that my school and district are using right now is called TeachFX. So with TeachFX, it's a recording program, and teachers are able to record themselves. They're able to record their classes that they're teaching. So TeachFX will record they'll pick up the teacher's voice to distinguish how much the teacher is talking in the classroom, as opposed to how much students are talking individually. And it also will pick up how much students are talking in a group. And it also picks up silence in the classroom. And by doing so and being able to analyze the findings after the end of the class, we're able to see how much teachers are teaching, or how much teachers are talking, I should say, as opposed to how much group learning or collaborative learning is happening in the classroom. And by doing this, we've been able to see that consistently students have been talking more in the classrooms than teachers just talking at them. So it's been a great tool in getting students to collaborate together. And then finally, I want to go into another one of these tags. I'm going to click on gaming in education, a couple that I use a lot. One of the websites that we actually went over in our last class in 6005 was Deck Toys down here at the bottom. I tagged this one. One of our projects that we had to do in our last class, I actually use in my classroom every semester. It was one of the games that we had put together for a project, and I've been assigning it to my students, and they actually love the Deck Toy game. It gives them all the information that I want them to get, but they are able to do it in their own time and in their own way and take their own route to learning it. So we collaborate that way, and students really enjoy the Deck Toys. I also use Blookit in my classroom a lot for reviews. With the Blookit website, it has several different games that students can use to answer questions and get feedback. And I really like this because all the students are getting the information that I want them to get, but they are able to go their own way and navigate the website on their own, and they are able to choose the route that they take to get that information. So it's kind of putting it on both the student and the teacher to get that information, and that works out really well in my classrooms as well. A few websites that I found in the tags that I have that I'm looking forward to use. Let me go back up to my library, and I'm going to go into restorative practices. I have a few websites that I found that just talk about building students up and getting them to realize consequences of their actions. When I first started teaching, I came in with a mindset of running a classroom the same way that I ran kitchens when I was an actual chef. And I found out very quickly that that wasn't going to work out. So I've been spending a lot of time and really putting a lot of effort into working on restorative practices in my classroom and building up a sense of community and having students work together and realize that, when they do something, that there are consequences to their actions, and it doesn't just affect them, but it affects the entire class, and it can affect other people, and it can affect their community. So I try to bring behavioral issues that happen in the classroom, kind of bring those out to light. And instead of just giving a punishment, it's what did I do, and what were the consequences, and how can I make this better? So I'm really looking forward into diving more into these websites and seeing how I can put these ideas into practice in my classroom. And two more that I will go over, two more tags that I'll go over that I found in Diigo. One, I'm going to go into my communication tools, and one that I've recently started using in my classroom, and I'm looking forward into diving more into it, is this Canva. One of the projects that I do for my high school seniors, which is kind of under project-based learning as well. My high school seniors, they spend their semester putting together a business model and a business plan for some type of culinary enterprise. And with the Canva website, they're able to make logos and make menus and make them look really nice instead of just putting font on paper. And their projects that they've been putting together have really been starting to pop since I've introduced Canva into the classroom and let them use that on their projects. And then finally, I will just talk about one more. You'll be able to see that I have my tags and the total amount of bookmarks that I have. But one more, I'm going to go down into my all tags and my icebreaker activities. So I spend, before I even start teaching class in the beginning of the semester, I'll spend a couple days just doing icebreaker activities to try to build up the sense of community in the classroom. And even throughout, once a week, even in the middle and even towards the end of the semester, once students get to know each other, I still do icebreaker activities just to kind of lighten things up once or twice a week, and get the students talking to each other, and maybe get them talking to other students that are in the class that might not be sitting right next to them. So we all get to learn who each other are. I've been doing a lot of the same ones in the beginning of the class, and I teach 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. So by the time they get to 12th grade, they're like, oh, we've already seen this so many times. So I'm looking forward to going through these different icebreaker activities and being able to introduce more and new ones into my class. I've really enjoyed diving through Diigo this week, and I think that this is going to be very helpful going forward, and just being able to have these tabs and having everything in one space that I can come back to. And this is going to be really helpful going forward as I find new tools to use in my classroom that I can bookmark them. Thank you.